Hey everybody, I hope that you're well. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to deal with difficult people. We can't get around them, we can't avoid them. They're going to be in every aspect of our lives. So it's important to come up with strategies and ways to how to deal with these folks. So I'm going to offer in this video 4 different ways or 4 different things to consider when you come across a difficult person in your life. Now, before we get into the video, if you have not done so, please become a YouTube subscriber to my video. Just hit that red subscribe button and you'll be able to see all the new videos that I upload. I thank you in advance for your support. Now let's get back to those difficult people. So number 1, the first thing that we need to consider when we are dealing with a difficult person or we come across a difficult person, we have to gain perspective. Perspective is very important. So we need to gain an understanding of where does this person or what category does this person fall in my life? Is this just a person that I'll meet and never see again? Is this a person that I'm going to have to work with for a period of time? Is this a relative that I only see once or twice a year that gives me a hard time? Is it a relative or a close family member that I live with or that I can see on a continual basis? Is this a neighbor? So get that perspective, and once you get that perspective and you're able to put that person in a category, you'll be able to manage or maybe get some sort of strategy on how to deal with them. Now, if this is a person that you meet while traveling, or maybe they're a server in a restaurant, you may not see them again, it's not a big deal. Maybe that person was being a jerk. So if you are able to gain a perspective of how you're going to deal with that person, that will be helpful. If it's a coworker, well, I have a lot of things to say about coworkers. If it's a coworker, I said my advice would be to keep it 100% professional. If it's a difficult coworker that you're dealing with, keep it 100% professional. That way you're not taking it or the things that they do personally. Don't deal with that person outside of the scope of your work and what you need to do to accomplish your work. Just keep it 100% professional. I always found that to be helpful when dealing with a difficult coworker. If it's a family member that you're dealing with that you see annually, once a year, twice a year, just think about it like this. I'm not going to see this person a lot. What he or she says is not going to impact me or affect me. I'm just going to let it roll off my back. I'll see them again next year. It's not that big of a deal. If it's a family member that you live with, or if it's an immediate family member, then you're going to have to come up with a strategy on how to deal with that person. That's a whole nother video. I'm not going to go there, but you just have to know that there's a way that you're going to have to handle that person, because when it comes to dealing with people, especially difficult people, you've got to know that you can't change them. The only thing we could change is our reaction to them. So it's important to gain perspective. The second thing is to remember that difficult people are people too. Not that we are excusing bad behavior, but I think it's important to have some empathy. Empathy is important. Empathy will help us to cope and to see things outside of our lens and see things from a different perspective and kind of go into that other person's shoes. You have to also remember that not all difficult people are created equally. Some difficult people are not necessarily bad people. People become difficult because maybe they're going through hard times in life. Maybe they're struggling with something. Maybe that thing is temporary. And sometimes when we are going through certain stresses in life, we can become unpleasant. I know I have become unpleasant going through certain things in life, and maybe you have too. So I say have a little bit of compassion, because you never know what people are going through. And maybe that's just not their permanent personality. Maybe the stress and the things and the storms in life that they're going through is making them maybe a little tough or difficult to deal with. And, sometimes, it doesn't mean the thing about that, and kind of looking at things from a different lens, it will help us not to take things personally. It may not be that that person is a jerk or just a horrible person. It just could be just the circumstances that they are going through and what they're suffering through in the moment. Some people are awful and maybe that's their permanent disposition in life. But even if that's the case, don't take it personally, because that's their issue. And if you see that maybe that a person is going through something, just pray for them. Just pray for them, and hopefully, the power of God will change their heart, change their mind, and change their attitude toward others. But, it's not our job to change people. Pray for them, but don't take it personally, because you don't know what that person is going through. So remember that they are people too, and they have struggles too. The second thing is the third thing to remember is the golden rule, and that's found in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 12. And basically it says to treat people how you want to be treated. So even if a person is being a jerk, even if they're being difficult, even if they're giving you a hard time, still treat them the way you want to be treated. Don't stoop down to or have anyone bring you down to their level. Because you don't want what goes around to come around back to you, right? So you will always want, whenever opportunity you can, is to take the high road and to do what you know is the right thing, even when people are not necessarily doing right by you, because that's something that the things that people do to you and to others, they're going to have to deal with that. They're going to have to deal with the consequences of that, but you don't want to be sucked into that and sucked into their games and the games that they play. You want to make sure that, okay, this person wasn't that great to me, but I didn't retaliate and I didn't try to get them back. So remember to always treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's just the way to go. It's just the way to live your life. And Jesus said it, and I believe it, and that settles it. So also, the fourth thing is and this is maybe one of the more important things to consider, is do not surrender your power. When we continue to dwell on things and the things that people do and how they hurt us and how they get under our skin, and we dwell on them, we talk about them all the time, all you're doing is when you give attention to something, is you're giving away your power. So don't surrender your power to that difficult person, because as soon as they walk in a room, they own you, they rule you, because you're giving all your attention to them. So don't surrender your power to them. As I stated earlier, don't take it personal, because you don't know what they're going through. And also, as a side note, I want to continue on that point just a little bit, is that usually difficult people aren't happy people. If you find that folks are going around giving others a hard time and they're just a pain to deal with in life, that's not the behavior of someone that's happy, that has joy in their life. So it's like I kind of feel sorry for people who go out of their way to be difficult to others. There's something wrong with them. And that's why I say go back and you pray for them. But do not, under any circumstances, surrender your power to them. Don't think about them. Don't talk about them to other people. Just do what you got to do, and have compassion, have mercy. You don't have to be anyone's doormat, but just remember that they are people too. And those are the strategies that have helped me to deal with difficult people. I deal with many difficult people, and I know that you have. You may deal with difficult people yourself, but just remember these 4 things, and hopefully it will help you out. And that's all I have to share with you for today. Be blessed, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.